So we come to match number 5, which is Junkyard Dog against Greg Valentine. There's, as usual, some pre-match interviews. So we've got Valentine saying that JYD is going to see why he's called the greatest IC champ ever. I do want to make a point here because I did criticize NXT for doing something similar. The Intercontinental title by this point was only about 4 or 5 years old. So ever is not a particularly big boast, if I'm perfectly honest. And then JYD says this is the biggest chance of his life coming up as he faces Valentine for the IC belt.
Junkyard Dog is wearing a tiny watch. It's tiny to the point where I'd be like, I don't know whether I can see the time. It's gold, and he does this little. And I was like, he's Warrior before Warrior, and he's better than Warrior.
Oh, this is also one of Matt's favourites, isn't it, Junkyard Dog? I forgot. So this match goes for just under 7 minutes. It ends when Valentine pins Junkyard Dog with his feet on the ropes, but Tito Santana runs out and tells the referee what's happened. The ref then restarts the match, but Valentine refuses to get back in the ring and is counted out. JYD gets the victory. Old man.
JYD, this is a mark of where he is. He gets a ring entrance. Like, he gets an entrance. So, like, again, we talked about this before. Oddly over. Like, and the crowd love him as well.
He was a massive star. Yeah.
Crowd absolutely love him. This is not very good, I think it would be fair to say. And I think that the limitations of Junkyard Dog are shown up within about 4 seconds. And also the limitations that we pointed out many times with Greg Valentine, in that he is infamous for needing about 3 weeks to get warmed up into a wrestling match before he can kind of get going. And they get just under 7 minutes. It's completely hamstrung by the finish as well, because it doesn't really matter what they do, because the finish is so crap. Because Tito Santana comes down. He's showered, he's dressed, looking very dapper. Lovely old job. Would have been better if he'd come down in his pants or just in a towel. Like, he'd just been like, oh, bloody hell, what's going on here? But to restart the match, only for Greg Valentine to walk away and get counted out, it's just really crap. Obviously, it plays up to the fact that, Greg Valentine's a chicken shit heel. He doesn't want to go back in there. But he did just pin Junkyard Dog. I know he used the ropes, but there's no way JYD was kicking out of that. And you could see it, clear as day. he was down for the 3. But yeah, not very good. Jimmy Hart does take a heck of a bump to the outside, and this floor does clearly not have any padding on. It looks like it's just wood over what was probably at the time would have been the basketball court. So it's wood on wood, and rough bump for him, but not very good. Like, this, not very good at all. But again, exactly what I was expecting. But this is the first real dip that this card had taken anyway, in terms of the quality of the match. And with the finish, I was like, you've ruined it. You've ruined it here. I was having a good time. But when JYD wins, the crowd are going nuts. It's like, he's won by count out, having been pinned, and you are going bananas for it. And again, it plays into what Tinky's raised a couple of times. This is a whole different era of wrestling, where they just wanted their JY Dizzle to get the win. And boy, did he.
So a couple of notes here. First of all, you say Junkyard Dog gets an entrance, and he has some dubbed over music. I believe the original would have been Another One Bites the Dust by Queen, which was his entrance music when he was in Mid-South. And if anyone's a little bit it's putting me off so much I can't concentrate. If anyone's a little bit curious as to the way WWE have handled If anyone's a little bit curious as to how WWE have handled this on the Mid-South shows where he comes out to Another One Bites the Dust, I would recommend going and listen to it, because they have put together a lovely little song that they've dubbed over Junkyard Dog's entrance. It's not, they don't use it here, which is a real shame. I was actually genuinely hoping that they were going to do it, but they don't. But there's a great little Junkyard Dog song that they've dubbed over, and I recommend it. The second point I was going to make before I hand to Matt for his comments on this show was that I did note that the Howard Finkel announced that this had a 1 hour time limit, and then I was thinking, I bet Matt is absolutely loving this. Matt.
Because when they said the hour time limit, I just burst out laughing. I just thought, wow, really? I mean, I was thinking there's no way in hell they were going to go that length. But do you know what? I don't know what it is about Junkyard Dog that's just so damn captivating. It's just something about this guy that's just really interesting. And one of the things he was doing mid-match, like, getting on all fours and doing like the dog headbutts. What the hell is that? But it was funny, and I actually did laugh. So if ever there was anything on this utterly abysmal show that I actually enjoyed and would award a match of the night to, it was this. Junkyard Dog, applause, sir. You have done it again.
So is he your MVP as well?
Do you know what? Yeah, let's just go the whole way right now. Junkyard Dog is just the man.
Interestingly, I've never seen a dog do what JYD does. So I kind of get the thing that he's going for, but a dog won't do that because a dog will always protect its neck. So it therefore will always go with its teeth so that the other dog is worried and can't. Yeah, weird. But hey, you know what? Maybe he's not an actual dog.
Did he ever bite people?
That's Rick Steiner.
Oh, yeah, sorry. The old dog-faced gremlin.
He's not a dog, is he? He's a gremlin. Sorry. He's just got a dog face. That's all. I fall somewhere between the two of you. I don't think it's the match of the night, but I don't think it's particularly bad. Just for your benefit, Matt, I have actually watched a match with Greg Valentine in Madison Square Garden that went an hour with Bob Backlund from 1981, I think it is. Again, it's one of those matches. If you can get yourself in the mood for it, ain't bad. Ain't too bad. But anyway, this didn't go an hour. Mercifully, and I'm gotta be honest, I'm not sure Junkyard Dog could have gone for an hour. I think he was struggling at nearly 7 minutes, to be honest. But yeah, again, super over for the Intercontinental title at a time when the Intercontinental title still meant something. Well, meant a lot more than it does now. I don't even know if they've got a match booked for that on WrestleMania thus far, as we're recording at least. So yeah, it was okay. It passed quick enough. You know, it was one of those ones where I sat down. It wasn't entirely comfortable, but it came out, and I could forget about it quite quickly afterwards.
Oh, that's lovely.